let's check the stream feed. Because last week I was sick and I did a stream, but my god, I was not present. All right, restream, we're live. Twitch, we're live. YouTube, in on third place. All right, welcome to Code Hangout number 260, QWERTY. So, QWERTY keyboard is something that's long been missing from SudokuPad, and because I've recently been working on it for Thinky Dailies, and this is something that's been in the back of my head for a long time, I want to take a little peek at it. I don't have a lot of time today. There's a, I'm taking care of Toby alone, and Toby's just left with the dog walker, and they'll be back in an hour, and it's already super late, but we'll see what we can do. I think somebody contacted me. Somebody pinged me regarding a puzzle called Easy as RBC, or like a category of puzzles of, so let me take a quick look at, because I didn't link me the specific puzzle, but they posted a screenshot. It's not this one. I was just looking at sort of, I just put RBC in my analytics to see if I can find a specific one, because there's clearly a bunch of different ones. Let me see. Switch R, A, R, C, A, A, B, C. Problem of RBC puzzles using letters instead of digits. More, there's no easy option. I don't know why they're called RBC. The one that he's showing has ABC in it. Let's see if we can change this to ABC. Because I found RBC puzzles like this one. I don't know why they have R, B, and C in them. Okay, let's see. Easy as ABC, maybe. Oh, I wish I could just see them with screenshots down here. That would be so nice. Nope. Nope. I don't know how I would further limit that. I could maybe go by date, because they probably would post about something they've seen very recently. So it's definitely has arrows in it. Some arrows, arrow sums. So it's none of these. It's not that one. It's not this little one. Although this is simple enough. Let's just play this. Let me open this locally. Let's give this a quick play. Rooney. Place it at its 1, and that is RBC once in every row, column, there for all subsequent rules. And R has the value of its row. B has the value. Ah, that's why they're RBC. Okay. R has the value of its row. 1 second. I have a smudge on my glasses. So B, I'm guessing, would be the value of the box, and C would be the value of the column. Okay, that kind of hurts my brain a bit. So maybe this 4x4 is great for me to kind of give it a little learn-see. So I have an idea, but it might surprise you to know. Hey, Christopher Warrenberg. Hey, Keith, how are you doing? It might surprise you to know that sometimes, as a programmer, you have to program things that you don't fully understand. And for me, that seems to happen a lot. Ooh, Nightmare. Sells a chess knight's mover. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna fully, because I'm not trying to solve this for entertainment, right? I'm gonna fully mark this, and I'm gonna use the keyboard. I do need to enable the letter tool. And the fact that it's off is a bad sign, because tools I don't use are usually the least well supported. All right, so we have B, C, R. So since B represents the box, once in every row, column, and box for subsequent rules, and R is the value of the row. So for example, we cannot have R's in row 1, because then where would... No, wait, we can. So we have one R. Okay, wait. All right, so this is screwing me up. All right, so we cannot have a B here. So this has to be a 1. That doesn't include a solution. Shoot, because B, C, and R would all be 1s here, right? And we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. Am I getting this right or wrong? Or could be a B here, because the 1 doesn't have to be there. The B could be there. Everywhere for all subsequent rules, and R has the value of the... Okay, for subsequent rules. It doesn't mean that an R, B, C, blah, blah, blah cannot be on the same row and column as a 1. Oh, I cannot, yeah. That's why I don't usually have the letter tool on, because I can't Control C to undo. All right. Oh, and now... Oh, man. I have to remember how this works. Oh, nope. All right. Nightmare. Cells a chess knight's move apart cannot sum to 5. So from this one, if I look at this one, this cannot be a 4. Nothing will be a 4 here. This cannot be a 4. None of these will be a 4. Okay. So, for example, these Bs, none of them can see a 1. Oh, but I don't know where... Ooh. Oh, that's annoying because this one sees these two Bs, but it doesn't see these two in a knight's move, right? Okay. Each of the 2 long diagonals must contain 4 different values. Letters and numbers may repeat freely if allowed by other rules. Oh, so in this case, we could have multiple Bs because Bs could be 4 and stand for 4 and 1. Okay, but in this case, it means on the diagonal, we cannot have Bs here because these Bs are the value of 1. We cannot have... Okay, so I was right. This has to be a 1 because on the diagonal, C and R and B would all be 1 over here. Here there are 2. Here B is 4 and here B is also 4. So B could be one of these. Doesn't have to be. It contains 4 different values. Letters and numbers may repeat freely if allowed by other letters and numbers may repeat for 4 different values. Okay, so we need a 4 in here. These can't be 4. And these could be 4. So C and R could either be here or B could be here. C and R could be 2 here, and C and R can be 3 here. B can never be 3, so this cannot be a 3 because we need a B because we need a 3 here. But this could be a C, this could be an R, and this could be a C, for example. Okay. So, and we have the same thing for here. B is a 2. Oh, but it doesn't have to... Okay, B is a 2. Okay, we need to have a 1 on here. So this cannot be a C, and this cannot be an R. Because C here would be column 1 and row 1, right? And one of these two is a 1. Now, now both of these see this by knight's move. So this cannot be a 4. Nightmare. Cells a chess knight's move apart cannot sum to 5. So this cannot be the 4 value on this diagonal. Because it sees a 1 on either one of these. Then we might not have to be able to have a 1 on here. Wait. Each of the digits must contain 4 different values. Letters and numbers repeat. Ah, okay. I think... Oh, I'm confusing myself. Can we exclude... Oh, the 1 is already excluded because of this one. Okay. We don't necessarily have to have a 1 here, and we can't have a 1 here because on this diagonal... Ah, no, this could be the 4. Because, okay. Because I was going to say, if one of these is the 1... But the 1 could be here. Okay. No row consists entirely of a single value. At least one row, column, or box must contain 4 different values. No row may consist entirely. At least one row must consist of 4 different values. Okay. 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 Ah, this is tougher than I thought it would be. This is a lot tougher than I thought it would be. I mean, mostly because I gotta get my brain around it, right? So... Nothing here will be a 4, nothing here will be a 4. Okay. If one of these is a 1, neither of these could be a B, but we don't know if there's a 1 in here. Each of the... So, place the digits 1 and the letters R, B, C once in every row, column, box. Okay, so we know one of these is a 1, which means... one of these cannot be the value 4, okay? But it could be either one, right? And one of these, so one of these cannot be the value 4 because we have the 1 here. Then we have the 1 on diagonal here. Okay, this one sees these two. Do I have something that sees this one and this one? This sees that, and it sees this one. But it doesn't see this one. Okay, so, yeah, no. I was gonna say, so C is a 4 here. So we cannot have something be a 1 here or here. But neither would, neither one. Okay, so C is a 4 here. So one of these can't be a 1, but one of these isn't necessarily a 1. Okay. No row column box may consist entirely of a single value. No row. But I thought every row column and box must contain 1 each. And the letters C once in every row Place the digit 1 and the letters R, B, and C once in and in every row, column, and box. Follows the rules of the area as well. But it doesn't mean we... Okay, it means there needs to be a 1 in every column. But it doesn't necessarily mean that no row, column, box may consistently have a single value. Oh, a single value, not a single... Oh, okay. Wait, no row, column, box may consist entirely of a single value. Okay, so for example, the B's in here are also 1s. But is that a problem? So this is always a 4, but the 1 is always a 1. And we always have a 1 in here. So I don't think that can ever happen. Because C's are always different, right? They're always 1 or 2. And R are always... I mean, here C and R are 1 and 2. B is always... Oh, I see. But this is always going to be a 2. So it at least has 2 different values. No row entire of a single value. Now, we have a 1 here. The C is a 1. R is 2, 3, 4. And B is 1. At least one row and box must contain 4 different values. Okay. So, it's not a given. ECR. These are... R is a 2 here. The other 2 are 1s here. We definitely have a 1 here. But this is always going to be a 2. These is a 4 or 3. Ah, this is breaking my head. This is not how I plan to start this episode. But maybe it's good. Because by struggling through it and dealing with a stupid keypad thing, even if it's just 3 letters, and I'll talk a little bit about the idea behind the QWERTY keyboard here, but I do kind of want to solve one of these puzzles. Each of the 2 long diagonals must contain 4 different values. Okay, so this is a 2. So this is always going to be a 2 value. So we cannot have another 2 here. Neither of these is going to be a 2. This one is either a 4 or a 3. And this one is always a 4. So this can't be a 4. So this cannot be a B. Because if this was a B, this would be a C and R, both of which would be the value 4. And these are both 2s. Okay, so this nomenclature is actually helpful, right? So for example, this is a 1 or a 2. It's a 1 in the box, and it's 2 on the... and 1 in the column and 2 on the row. This can be a 3 on the row and box, or a 1 on the column. And then this... each of the 2 don't... Okay, that's on the diagonals. Each of the 2... wait. No row consists entirely of a single value. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, maybe these aren't as interesting as the diagonals, right? So this one is a box 3, column 1, and a row 4. This is a 1 in the value, a box 3, a column 2, and a row 3. This is a box 2, column 3, row 2. And this is a box 2, column 4, row 1. So 1, 2, 4. So this can be the 4 on the column, and this can be the 4 on the row. So that's one. Either this is a C or this is an R. And the 1 could be here. So that's our 4. And then the 3 is here, here, or here. And then the 2 could be here, here, and here. The 2 cannot be there. Interesting. This cannot be a 4. This cannot be a 4 because of this 1. Now, if one of these is a 4, this cannot be a 1. So this is always a 2. This is always a 3. That's all of these are 4s. Okay, no row column must consist of a single value. At least one box row must contain 4 different values. I don't know if that is interesting yet. Okay, let's look at the cells chest and move cannot sum to 5. So for example, since this is always a 2, this cannot be a 3, this cannot be a 3. So which one is the 3 here? Box. So it cannot be a box, can't be a 3, because that's always a 2. This sees that, so that, whatever this is the 2, which is the box, we can't have a 2 here because of this 3. This 4 that's always a 4, right? Box 4, column 4, row 4. So this eliminates the 1 from here. and it eliminates the one from here. Okay, so now these are our 1-4 pairs, and this is a 2-3 pair. Yes, so it's column, row, and then one of these has to be 3. So either this is box or this is a column. All right, now we also 3. So anything this sees cannot be a 2. So let's see. So box 1, column 2, row 1. So this can't be a 2 because it sees a 3 here. So we cannot have this be a column. So that's always a 1. This is box 1, column 1, row 2. So this can't be a row. Okay. So I guess we'll continue. So this is box 4, column 3, row 4. But because of this 2, this cannot be a 3. So the 3 comes from column. All right. This is box 4, column 4, row 3. So again, because it sees this 2, this cannot be a row. Oh, where did the D come from? No. This cannot be a row. And the box is a 4 and the column is a 4. All right. All right. So let's continue. Box 4, 1, row 4, and a 1. Okay. Box 2, column 4, row 2. This... Does it have a unique value against anything that can only have one value? No. Box 3, column 1, row 3. So that's a 1 or a 3. Just checking the... this is always a 1, so this can't have any 4s. So, wait. Box 1, row 1. So this cannot be a 4. And the 4 here would be in the column. So... no, column. And can't be a 4. Okay. This one sees this and this. What's this? Box 2, column 3, row 1. Okay. 104. These two, these two. This is always a 1. Box 1, column 1. So this cannot see any 4s by... Okay. Box 3, column 2, row 4. So this cannot be a 4. So it can't be a row. It sees, what else does it see? Does it see any singular values? Not that I can see. So what are the singulars? 1, 2, and 3. And 4. So this can't see any 1s. Okay, that's done. 3. This cannot see any 2s in these. Okay. This cannot see any 3s in these. Okay. So 2, 3, 4. Now, this one is 1, 4, and 2, 3 pair. 1, 4, and 2, 3 pair. Okay. Now I think the other rule is starting to make more sense about no rows consistent single value, because like we have a bunch of BC, CR, BC. Yeah. So for example, we might not end up with a 1 here. No, we do need a 1 here. So this needs to be the 1, right? So then that's the 1. Oh no. Did I screw that up? Why can't that be a 1? Because it sees this 4. Oh, shoot. This is tough. Place the digits 1 and the letters R, B, and C once in every row, column, box. So we need a 1 here. Okay, I don't like this because we don't have a... miracle, because we don't have what's the word, we don't have a solution check for this one. Let's see if, one second, I'm gonna just read out some metadata here. Let's see if I can find a version of this with the solution check in. That would be really helpful. Metadata, title, Miracle Snack Doku. Let's see if we can look for that. Maybe there's another version of this puzzle with a solution check. So I think this is the one we're looking at. Does this have the solution check? No. Okay, I do like the RBC process. Let's, if I say we filter this by number of solves, maybe? How would I count solves? By puzzle. Because it just gives me overall solves. It also is not giving me anything recently. A, B, C. This is, because I understand for an RBC. Hello. Hello, folks. I feel like, because with an RB, I mean, okay, so let's have a quick look at the Thinky Daily's keyboard pads, right? Because we have two versions. We have a, given set of letters, which would be great for an ABC RBC puzzle, because you could be one RBC, right, instead of this generic keypad. And then we have the QWERTY. Now, the QWERTY is something I've always been wanting to implement. One of the issues, and let's find a puzzle. Let me just do this. And let's look at the mobile layout, right? So the problem is, as you can see, we have a bunch of keys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide. And we really only have space for 3, right? Now, that's not great. So for a QWERTY keyboard, we either need to extend that space quite a bit, and I wouldn't know exactly how to do it here, or we would have to rearrange where the buttons go. So the buttons, I mean, on the mobile layout, we basically want to move all these non-keyboard buttons up and down. So that would be a major sort of change, and I'm not sure if I'm up for that, because, updating the layout is something I've been planning, but also dreading to do for a long time. Let's see if we can get something more standard, like an iPhone SE or whatever, iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? And ignore the zoom buttons here. That's also temporary work. So I'm gonna just grab that. Like I'm gonna just grab this for a sec. I'm gonna put that in here, and let's just get this a little organized. Right. Then let's change this also. 14 Pro Max. Is that even representative? I'm not sure it is. 14 Pro Max. Okay, well, let's just do that for a sec. Boom. Boom. We're gonna have to align them in a second. And let's go also 14 Pro Max. Boom. Boom. All right. Let us just align these briefly. And I'm just going to get that out of the background layer. I don't like the background. I never quite understood why in that Photoshop format the background layer is so weirdly handled separately. So, first of all, I'm going to select... can I just select that? Tolerance 0. Or can I just select... No, I just want to do that. Delete. I want to do that. Delete. And then I want to go here. Do that. Delete. All right. So we'll go back here. And we're gonna just align that. I think that black line is part of the background. So we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna go do, ooh, no. For now, I'm just gonna align it to make sure we're looking at something comparable. Okay, I think here I had feathering on or something, right? So we have this. They're not perfectly aligned for some reason. Okay, now they're aligned. And then this is, of course, the Dokapad layout. Right. So the idea is now, let's have a quick play. If I take this keypad, and I'm not going to do this for very long because I'm very bad at sketching out UI like this, and I should get better at it, but I'm not. I'm better off with just writing some code, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to want that, and I'm going to delete that. And I'm also gonna grab this. I'm gonna just do this for a sec. And then I'm gonna hide that. Wait. Huh? What just happened? We got that keyboard. I grabbed that, I pasted it, and something in between happened that made it go wrong. Okay. So now we're gonna see where that would go, right? So as you can see, the buttons are much smaller, but they're not too small. But basically the idea would be, ideally it would be like this, full width. And then the buttons aren't too far off from a cell size, so they're usable. And then we'll probably move that to the bottom so it's finger reachable. And then all these other controls would have to be arranged. Now, the alternative would obviously be to take something like this, and obviously the buttons can be customized. So, for example, in Thinky Dailies, I think if I go to, I think that was season 1 or something. Ooh, this is not great. I'm gonna report that quickly. This is an issue in mobile test mode. Is that a problem? Mobile. I'm gonna just let them know that there's a potential issue. And I pinged the Juniper Dev channel. No, it's not jam related. All right, so there was a puzzle in season 1 which had like, I think the letters PUZ. I need to find it quickly. Oh, easy as ABC, is that? Ah, there we go. So this would be a super short. So for a puzzle which has like one RABC, RBCR, something like this would be good. But let's just kind of, you know. So the good news is that we can potentially fit 10 buttons wide in here. Just. It's weird that it feels so tight, because on Thinky Dailies, I never felt that it was problematic. And here they're, if anything, even smaller. There's plenty of padding. I would definitely stretch it a bit. I think, I'm trying to think how to proceed. I'd like to just throw in buttons and like write some HTML to put it out there. The question is, the hard part would be for me to rearrange the button layout down here. It's not impossible, but it would be hard. I'm wondering if it's enough to like have a button that just pops up the keyboard on top. I suspect it might be problematic. Let's try something first. So currently the code base is a little bit of a mess because I think I've been working on a couple of different things, and I haven't been cleaning up my. So I did some work on the replay save stuff. I did some work on the local storage quota stuff, and I did some work on the Zoom stuff, but I think they're fairly separate. So let's have a quick look. First of all, I don't know if there's a feature that I had already started with. Oh yeah, and obviously we need to also look at this. But obviously here we have more space, so I'm less concerned about the desktop layout, right? So we currently have a letter tool, which doesn't exist as a feature. It exists as a tool, which is a little archaic, right? So we have the letter tool here. And I probably wouldn't want to, do I want to develop it as a tool or as a feature? Because tools have different hooks into the API, but the way the loader works and stuff is not really right. Yeah, because this is kind of... The way the tool integrates is a bit different. Let me think. Because I think this tool... Does that also handle the keyboard stuff? Why do I not have keyboard here? Do I need to enable the letter tool again? Oh, okay. So... Let's see if this is where actually the letter stuff comes from, right? Handle key down. So if I enable this and I just refresh here. And what the heck? What the heck? No. What's going on? Refresh. Why is it struggling? Windows is doing something in the background. 1 second. Why is Windows being so busy? What is Windows doing? Windows is scanning some files somewhere. Why? Why you be doing things? Stop it. 1 second. I'm not gonna have to disable this for a second. Why? There are no files to be scanning. I'm not downloading anything. I'm not putting anything on there. And right now, I cannot take this performance at 20%. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? One second. All right. Let's hope that'll put it to rest. Can I? Okay. All right, the page reloaded. I don't know what the hell it was doing. The node is doing something. Why is node even running? I don't know what's going on. Okay. At least it's reloading now. So we have our keyboard here. If I press a button, yeah, so it does handle the letter mode stuff. Handle key down. Oh, but it doesn't handle the letter directly, does it? It just makes sure we are in the letter mode. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm guessing the key handling is actually handled in the core script. Key down. Handle key down. I mean, I'm handling hotkeys, but am I also handling letter keys here? So if handle key down, if I press the letter tool is off again. Why? No, letter tool is on. Oh, because so if I go here and I'll press J. Yeah, we're not hitting handle key down. Handle key down. Do we have any other key handlers? Key down handlers. Okay. Key down. Key down. Update keys. Key down. Handle key down. App.handle key down. Did I not save that maybe? I feel like I should be getting this right now. Because this is where it forwards to here. Let me get a stack trace out of this. I got a stack trace out of this, right? So I'll press J. Huh? Can I get 2-letter handle key down event? Should be a console warn. What's going on? Oh, because disable cache isn't on. God damn it. All right. So Because yeah, handle tool event forwarding, that's what I suspected. So I'm handling the key down stuff in here, and then it comes from here, and handle key down is already running here. Okay. But if event to digit event do press digit. I think we're just hitting here. Event to digit event console.log digit. Event to digit must be a, because I'm executing it twice here, it must be a cheap operation. Okay, it's just a regex. All right. So boom. I'm gonna do that. And I'm sorry if it's a bit small. Let me make it a bit bigger. Handle key down, key JJ. So we're not hitting that. Handle key down. So because we're hitting here. All right, let's see what we're getting to here, right? Let's change this, make it proper. We want to do that. I want to find out a little bit what's going on here. Excuse me. Who burped? All right, reload. J. Oh, it doesn't get to here because it gets. Whew, all right. Handle tool event key forwarding. Okay, so that's 4987 because it goes in here. Okay. And I really need to implement hot reloading or something. So we are forwarding key down and key up. And that hits eventually here. Handle tool event forwarding key down, key up. Did I not save this? Key up. Letter mode, temp switch, set letter mode. But where do I actually execute the key? Let me see. Console.log tool/handler tool handler. Only if the handler exists. So clear that. J. What do we get? So we have tool color, tool letter, and tool color again. Okay, that's for blur. Okay, cool. Tool handler. So tool color, tool letter, handle key down, handle key up. All right, so we have key down and key up. Sure. So, one second, I'm just checking the chats. So that's this event handler. Set letter mode. I still feel like, where do we actually process the pressing of the specific letter? Because as far as I can tell, on key up, I'm an idiot. No, wait, handle key up. Set letter mode. Set letter mode. Handle toggle enable. Disable. Wait a second. What if I press a button? That just does do press digit. As far as I know, this goes straight to do press digit, right? Where is do press digit? Do press digit. So if we go to do press digit and we do a warn on this, so we get a stack trace, it should tell us where this happens. So press down and up. Okay. So do press digit, handle key down, tool letter, do press digit tool, normal, handle key tool letter, handle key, 2-letter, line 68. Handle key, okay. Is it because I just looked at... Wait, handle key. Where'd that come from? Or where is that getting called from? So we get key down H, key down. Handle key comes from handle tool. Oh, okay. So the forwarding, the tool event forwarding, handle tool key handlers. Wait, event forwarding key down and then handle tool key handlers. Oh, okay. So we had to have a... Oh, okay. Why do I have that? All right. I feel like I might have a little bit of redundancy here, but we're getting there. So, do this again. Key down event, handle key event, handle tool key handler, keyboard event, H, yada, yada, yada. Tool.key handlers, tool.key handlers, tool.key handlers, key handlers, find key handlers. So key handlers is something that the tool system has, and that's why, I mean, obviously I can just handle my own keys. The advantage by routing it like this is obviously that I can do all sorts of processing. I can make sure that pressing buttons does the same thing, etc. Now, obviously, the keys themselves, the key handling themselves, is not really what I care about. The keypad itself, where's that rendering happening? So in here somewhere, we have, because I have a whole API here for letter map, input letter classes, toggle controls button, digit letter map, next one. So for example, if I think do this, or control, that kind of thing. Let's say we're in color and we go here, it does that, right? Yeah, I think for now, I don't want to... Okay, first of all, I'm going to clean all this up again. All this debugging code. I think we can just wipe all that. It's got all that. It's really dangerous. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be working with pending changes. Okay, so for now, if I do this, it should be quiet-ish again. Yeah. I think I'm going to build a separate feature just so I can experiment visually a little bit. So we're going to create a new feature, and we're going to look at whichever feature is the most recent. Let's actually sort by date. Feature copy cells is definitely not the most recent. Markup. Is that the most recent, really? No, I was scrolled down. Oh dear. Well, we've been looking at feature large puzzle. AI assistant, I guess, is the most recent, but large puzzle is fairly recent. So let's start with that one as our base. Right, and then we're gonna save this as, yeah, save as. Instead of large puzzle, we're gonna call it test QWERTY. Right. And we're just gonna call this test QWERTY. And then we gotta remove a lot of this stuff. That's the biggest problem, is that by starting with something relatively complex, we have a lot of stuff we need to remove. Like that. We don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. We don't need... Well, we do need a touch GUI, but for now I think we're just gonna get rid of all of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And and I think for now I'm also going to get rid of that, but we'll need that in a little bit. And then we need to load it up. And we're going to load it up in here somewhere, wherever these things are supposed to go. Test QWERTY. Like that. I need to get rid of this stuff somehow without messing myself up right now. And we're just gonna do... Oh, okay. Toby's back. One moment. 1 second. Oh. I'll be right back. I'll just gotta take care of Toby for 1 second. What can I show you in the meantime? We're just gonna look at this for like a little bit. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a beer screen somewhere, but I'm not that professional. I need to practice this. Yeah, we had some medical scare yesterday with Toby, so I need to take care of him a little bit. The walker just brought him back. He's relaxing on the couch. After the stream, I'll Maybe take him out for another couple of minutes. All right. We were looking at this now. So in thinking dailies, the way the keyboard works, it's actually done very, very simply. Basically, let me where is it? Keyboard here. So it's surprisingly simple, and I was just kind of, we basically just have rows, and I believe the styling is doing all the work. So under, we have the different keyboards here, row, it does this. So it literally just uses flex layout to basically center each row. And that's how the spacing kind of just works out. Cool. And it's literally just button things, right? So let us start with just, so we are hitting init. We're just gonna call attach here, or we're just gonna call, yeah, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna hard code it in here. And let us, if I disable large puzzle mode, I think all the large puzzle noise will go away. So if I disable large puzzle UI, one second, let me change the AC so it points at Toby more. He is struggling with the heat. All right, Topes, I hope that's better. Now I'm going to be struggling with the heat. Yeah, we have, I took him to the emergency vet this morning. We have a vet appointment, or we are trying to get one for Tuesday because Monday is a public holiday here. He's not a spring chicken anymore. I hope it is benign and not problematic. All right, so if I refresh this, handle, so there's still large puzzle stuff happening, even though the feature is disabled, which is a little annoying. Let's see if we can just get that to quieten down. Handle init puzzle, yeah, so that we don't need to run. Why, wait a second, why would handle init puzzle even run? Handle init puzzle should only run if attach element runs. One second. Hope we get a stack trace out of that. Init. Add feature. Init. 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 249. Why would, after init, handle init, oh. Ooh, I have to be careful. I might have forgotten about that. I think all handle init, all functions that start with the words handle init are actually automatically called. Ooh. Handle. All right, we're gonna rename this to handle puzzle init. Yeah, that's the problem if you use magic names that do automatic stuff. That can be problematic. So if I do this and then refresh that, that shouldn't be running. Yeah, okay. I think that's better. Well, to be fair, like, it's been 31 degrees, which is not even crazy hot and cooler than some of Europe. So I think we're actually a little bit lucky in that sense, but for me, it's too hot anyways. The real problem is the country, like, they haven't been maintaining their environment well. So, like, there's not a lot of trees, there's not good shading. So the infrastructure is really bad. Okay. So now let's do some logging here, because that should run. No. Test QWERTY. Did I not? Am I not loading it in? Feature test QWERTY. Test QWERTY. 1 second. Large puzzle. Feature large puzzle create. Test QWERTY create. Create should run init, which should run handle init. That should all run. Am I maybe not refreshing correctly here? No, test the U. Are you kidding me? Ah! Here we go. All right. I'm not going crazy. I'm not gonna say I knew it, because it's definitely a possibility, but here we are. We're attaching the element. All right. So attach the element. We're just gonna do some silly things, right? I'm just gonna hard code some stupid stuff in here. So the div we ultimately want to sit in is controls main. So I'm just gonna grab that. I'm just gonna say, hey, controls L equals so what's my selector? I have a selector. We could just use query selector. Document.query selector. Right, and then we'll say so boom dot insert adjacent HTML before end hello world. Right, so if I do this, we controls EL console.log. Maybe this is happening too early. Controls EL. Okay. Insert adjacent document.body.insert JSON all capital. I don't know. I don't know if this is actually consistent, if I'm just being stupid or if it's inconsistent in the standard. But anyway, so that should give us a div that is a child of this thing here. Now the question is, if I say position absolute, where will it live? It'll go there, which is kind of where we want it to go. The problem is, if I want it to be contained within this, because I basically want something that's in this as if the other stuff doesn't exist, without interfering with the other stuff right now, which isn't super easy. But we'll manage. We'll manage. All right. So then we'll say const parent equals ID equals QWERTY. Just do that. QWERTY yell equals. Nope. Just grab that QWERTY like that, and we'll add some style sheet here. QWERTY like that. Position absolute. Is there a way to have something live in here outside of the flow, but within the parent's flow, like constrained by the parent, but not interacting with the other children? I'm not sure. Is the parent, what's the sizing of the parent like? I think the sizing of the parent is relative to maybe this. All right, background red. Let's just stick that in there for a sec. Yeah, and see what it looks like. All right. And then we'll just do this. We'll grab this stuff. Why not? Const key rows. So for now, we're just going to do that. Gonna do without that. We'll do that. Oh my god. Space indenting. No. All right. And I'll single line them because vertical space isn't free. Let's not act like it. All right. So for const row of key rows, and then for const symbol of row dot split, right? Console.log symbol. Right? So if I do this and I look at that, we'll just get all of these fine. And we kind of want to actually map them. So we kind of want to do this. Right? We want to split it. We want to map it. Symbol. And it's going to be a button with the symbol on it, in it. Basically like that. What is this? Something is wobbling and it's making a noise in my microphone. 1 second. Apologize for the noise, but there's something loose in here. Yeah, this is kind of unscrewing itself slowly. So thin and small for such a big microphone. All right. So if we do this, we'll get a bunch of buttons. Right. And then each row, because this we can just join. Right. And then here we'll just make a row that looks something like diff class equals row. And let's just prefix it with keyboard row. And then it's just this. And then it's /div. And then that. Right? That should do that. So that should get us keyboard rows. And then we can just say dot map row like that. Map it to the string. Right? And we can just say join like that. And then HTML equals. So if I do that, and then I'll do this, we should get the whole thing, right? And then we just can do this dot, we'll do the same thing. Boom, for end HTML, and we're just gonna HTML. We're gonna prefix that. Boom, 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 and boom. And here we go. All right. So I'll get us a bunch of buttons. Interestingly, these are on top of us. Why are they? Because we made the background red. But it feels like the... Oh, controls aux are underneath. Oh, is that because they're getting added later? Ah, no, because controls main... Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Now the question is, how do we fix the size so it doesn't exceed that? Yeah, I guess we'll need to make these buttons smaller. Well, first of all, let's have a quick look at the Thinky Dailies, because it does a little bit of flex styling, right? So we probably want to do something like this. And we want to call this ID QWERTY. We're just going to class QWERTY. QWERTY, right? So if I say dot KB QWERTY and not hitting random buttons elsewhere, get rid of all these silly spaces, and then we'll grab some of the button styling and row styling, and I'm not gonna just cut and paste it. Don't at me. Oh, I just erased everything in my thingamajig, right? Okay. This is gonna be a keyboard row, KB row. Yep. And then I think we're just gonna do that button for now. Okay, so that stretches the buttons out. Let's get rid of all the styling stuff, because that should already be taken care of by the generic button style, right? Okay, we definitely want them to be smaller. The letters, because they need to fit in a smaller space. Maybe not that small. Something like that. And then the buttons themselves. So they're width 2.1, height. Now I think right now they're like 4. I think a button, a generic button, is line height 3. Has a bunch of padding and whatnot. We might have to fiddle with that. Height 4. So if I say width 2, height 2 for now, just to get a feel, half size, right? Why are they so squat when they're supposed to be the same width and height? Font size 1.4. Width 2. Height 2. Is the width getting overloaded? Is that maybe the padding? Padding 0. It could be just padding, right? No. One second. I'm trying to find out. Line height 3. Margin. Yeah, I think we want to get rid of all these styles. So margin 0. Why is this always falling back on the indent? Am I misunderstanding the indenting here? Padding 0, margin 0. Width, height, line height to rem. Is it the rem versus em? No. Still, the buttons are really wide. Width. What is computed width like? 64 pixels. 2 rem, 4 rem. And then height. 32 pixels. 2 rem. How can 2 RAM be 2 pixels and 32 pixels and also 64 pixels? That doesn't make any sense. If I say width 32 px and height 32 px, what the heck is going on here? Line height. Does line height override something here? Height 32 pixels. I don't understand where the width is coming from. Width 32, margin 0, padding 0, flex. Oh geez, okay. We need to get rid of that flex. Flex 0, 0, 0. Flex is something I'm not super familiar with, unfortunately. It postdates my awareness. Okay, so if I go back to 2 RAM, that doesn't make any freaking sense now. Why? Okay. Why are we suddenly super tiny? Because if we go back to 4 and 4... This is so weird. Is it something to do with the flex? That's so weird. What am I looking at here even? This is all over the place. I feel like I need to look up what the flex thing is. Look, for QWERTY. So that's all the buttons. That's all the buttons. It just seems to stretch them out. So what's the default flex value? Because my button class there sort of has some other flex thing in there. So what's the default computed flex value for these buttons here? Just flex auto. So if I just say flex auto, what would that look like? It stretches though. Flex raw, flex auto, flex grow, flex shrink, flex wrap. And if I look at these and I look at flex, I get auto, direction row, grow 1, 0. Oh. So should this be auto 0, 1? Ah, okay, all right. All right, so if we do something like this now, it gets so wide so quickly. That's because we have so many of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how I can justify making them so small. So we definitely need to go into the parent. So controls buttons. So if the parent is controls buttons, like that, root EL, or let's call it parent EL. Okay. That's not too crazy. And by making it not as high, I mean, I'm comparing it to these, and if I can press this, I can probably press that. We'll probably need to space the rows out just a little bit more, although we could just probably make the buttons higher. So if we make them also around 2.8 RAM. The thing is, ultimately, I want them to be sort of auto-sized, really. I want them to be, you know, 1, 2, like, this should be equally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we basically want this divided by 10 plus spacing, and then have all buttons be more or less the same size. Let me just put a very light gray on top of it, just although that'll interfere with the buttons. It looks terrible. I guess it'll have to be white. Just so the buttons underneath are blocked out, you know. And we want to get rid of the QWERTY text. Like that. I mean, I could see it work. And then all the other buttons need to be rearranged, unfortunately. But that's doable. And that's the only way to do it, right? And I've always said, like, there's all sorts of things I can think of, but ultimately, if a mobile phone can pop a keyboard there, then I should be able to manage it. Now, that's another question. Android web force keyboard display. Like, if I can force the display of the keyboard, force an on-screen display in an Android web browser, you must trigger a focus event on a text element with a user-initiated action handler, like click or touch start. Modern mobile browsers strictly block programmatic keyboard execution without explicit user intent. Here's how you can actively implement this using JavaScript, HTML, to use modern web APIs. Force keyboard display for game input. Like, the question is, can I keep it there? Requires using a hidden text proxy that immediately focuses when you tap the screen. The proxy input method. All right, let's try that. Now, I don't think I can test this in here. But let's see what the II says. Add a touch proxy.focus. All right, so if I do this, and then I'll do proxy.focus, and then refresh. Test on-screen Android keyboard in Chrome desktop. Can we test the on-screen? Test out Android keyboard inside with the side in Chrome desktop. Use Chrome DevTools device mode. Open the webpage. Press F12. Click the toggle device to simulate a mobile viewport. Activate device mode. Tickle device. Start an Android device. Next, okay. Well, an iPhone, sure. Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Show the keyboard in top right corner. Device top right corner. Show device picture. Hide device frame. Capture screenshot. Show the keyboard top right corner of the device toolbar. Click the three-dot menu. Select show virtual keyboard or show device frame. I can hide device frame. Nope. I feel like this is ancient. Although I'll just touch input.
Greetings.
Ooh, loud. How do we test it? I'm not seeing any on-screen keyboard. On-screen keyboard. Nope. Okay. No on-screen keyboard. Visual walkthrough. How to Chrome DevTools simulate mobile touch input behavior. Interact with touch. Once enabled, click on any text input field and the screen will trigger the keyboard. I don't think it will. 1 second. Width 100 px. 100 px. Height 40 px. Can we make this visible? So I do this. I'm pressing buttons on the keyboard. I'm not getting any input. Audible input mode text. Position SD1. I wonder if it's because my app is capturing input. But we're not seeing no on-screen keyboard in Chrome DevTools. Why do we not get an on-screen? Display on on-screen keyboard, mobile animation mode. It's on-screen device dimensions. You literally in the other chat told me to do this. Okay. With Chrome navigation bar, with opened keyboard, Chrome delivers limit support to manage different devices. Currently, it's only supported by Nexus 5 and 5X. But that's ancient. Ah, that's weird. All right. So that's something that's going to be a huge pain in the ass to... Because I was thinking, if I make the layout work well enough that if you put the... Because, for example, I on my phone, I often play with a split screen layout with YouTube on the top. And you see there's quite a bit of space there. So it is theoretically possible that you could literally just pop open the regular keyboard, have everything push up. Then the question is, can I capture inputs from that keyboard? And can I prevent it from disappearing the moment you click, you tap on the screen and stuff, like, so it doesn't pop in and out of existence over and over. But it doesn't look like it's something I can test very easily. And if I can't test it, I don't really want to mess with it, to be honest. Let's hook up the buttons. That shouldn't be too hard, right? So I should be able to just say document.query selector all QWERTY button dot add event listener key, no, click. That'll be something like that. Let's see if that works. I don't know if I can do that. Oh, what happened to the keyboard? Oh. Ooh, what did I do? One sec. What did I do? Is it just this? Huh. If I do that... What? Why would it change the layout when I attach... That doesn't make any freaking sense. Like, what does this even... Like... How does this empty node list dot add event listener change the layout of... Oh, okay, just because it breaks. All right. Well, this should be a dot. It's not a function. All right. Dot map. All right, let's see. All right, guys, it's 9:30. I can't go on too much longer. For const el off. Boom, boom. So it just crashes out, and for some reason, it's weird that it affects the layout. Because this function breaks here. I don't understand why it would break the layout. But anyway, so now if I press this, nothing happens. HTML button press event. Is it press or click? Press or click. On click, element click. Click event button, click me, click. Add event listener. I'm guessing there's some reason why my clicks don't go through here. Maybe because it's commented out. Oh, guys, what am I doing? Let's do a little hover effect just to make sure something's getting through. Does this capture? Because if something is in between us, I guess we won't have hover here. So clicking, hover works, clicking does not. Yeah, what's going on here? Node list is empty. Wait, what? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, do I just do this? I guess. Yes, okay. So if I do this, now I press this, okay. And if I go here, and now I press that, it doesn't work. Okay, what about press? Button event when pressed on touch device. Best approach. Click. Click doesn't seem to fire. But it could just be this layout. So if I go responsive, and if I change it to this, so responsive is also mobile. Huh. Okay. And if I do this, all right. Pointer down. Click. Why does click not trigger on touch? It should. It looks like it should. User intent. If a click event is completely failing to fire when you tap, it is almost always caused by one of the 4 technical reasons. Prevent default is active in a touch event. Installed. Are listening to touch start touch end? No. Done. Nope. Apple's mobile. No. No. I don't think any of these. I just create some buttons and test them in DevTools mobile view. This is the handler. Occasionally fails to map mouse clicks to touch tabs properly when switching back and forth between desktop and mobile modes. To fix, close DevTools entirely, refresh the page, open DevTools again, toggle mobile view, refresh the page one more time with mobile view already active. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? All right. Nope. Refresh. Switch. Refresh. Press. Nope. Refresh. Nope. Refresh. Nope. Well, let's check pointer down. Pointer down. Boop. Pointer down works. Shouldn't click. Click also work. Today I wanted to work on the Game Jam game, but I didn't have enough time, and this popped up in my feed. So I thought, you know, it's something that actually would push Sudoku Pad forward and is a real feature that Sudoku could use. If pointer under the problem narrows down to how the browser generates complete tap, you're accidentally dragging DevTools emulation bug. The most common reason when testing inside Chrome DevTools mobile view. The reality to fire click the browser requires a pointer down for a nearby pointer up on this exact same spot. Right, let's try something. So if I do click, click, boom, right? Refresh. No, okay. Use a desktop mouse to click inside the browser. It's incredibly easy to move the mouse. Okay, I'm gonna lift the mouse off the computer. Nope. The result in front of the tiny mouse wobble. Okay, ghost elements stealing the click. Layout shift of unused parent container layout pointed down captures the event on the way down. By the time the browser calculates the final content. So AI loves making shit up. So if it's on the way down, oh wait, yeah, well, let's see if pointer up works. Oh, so pointer up and point. Okay, on the way down, I'm guessing it's talking about captures. By the time the browser calculates the final code, fire the click, address the click on the overlapping wrapper element rather than target button. Touch, lock, touch scrolling, touch action none. Stops the browser from converting minor slips into. Even lifting my mouse off the desk doesn't fix it. So, pointer down, pointer up, but no click that was being deleted or redrawn mid-click, or the cursor moved too fast. No, it is not. Changes between events and news is lighting over your button mid-click. But sure. Sure. I don't mind. I actually approve of this kind of debugging. This is kind of what I was doing. So if I do this, and I lost my everything. No, wait, what? All right, one sec. Let's do it this way. Like that. I don't know why we... Okay. All right, that should do it. Pointer down and up triggered on the same thing. Down is deleted or redrawn. Pointer down, pointer up, but no click. Too far during the process. Target name changes between events. Nope. There is no sliding or deleting of elements. It's just a button and nothing else. I don't know. It's really making some crap up, like holy moly. Pointer cancel. It's just gonna keep making shit up because it just doesn't know. The consultant means pointer down, pointer cancel. Nope. As I saw on the HTML button, there's no styling shift throughout. The layout code is correct. The reason point down works with click is because Chrome's emulation engine occasionally breaks its internal touch to mouse mapping pipeline when switching screen viewports. Activate DevTools device view. The Chrome intercepts mouse inputs and attempts to emulate a mobile hardware digitizer. Pointer down is low-level hardware event. The moment your mouse button presses down, the emulator immediately flags the contact point. Yeah. The whole point is that you use the high-level logic abstraction. That's the whole point of the click event. Keep mobile view active. Ensure the mobile device view is toggled on the blue device icon. Sure. Hard reload the frame. Control F5. Sure. Mobile view is active. Alt if dock DevTools. Pointer. Dock DevTools. If the issue presents, change the DevTools docking layout. Click the three vertical dots and change them to unlock into a separate window. Okay, sure. Unlock in a separate window. Control 5. Nope. 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 Verify with zero script test. Add event listener click. Strict native button. What? Proof that the internet browser emulation specific on brand new. Well, if you don't click that button, you still doesn't log. Your specific profile instance has a stuck touch emulation layer. Restarted Chrome or resetting incognito when resolve it. Oh my god. All right. Well, let's see. Nope. Even in an incognito window, get no click handler. I want to test how it will work on a real device. Chrome cannot be this buggy. Click event completed means Chrome's core hardware emulation flag configuration is desync from your operating system's mouse settings. Are you... So forced Chrome behave along with the standard strategies. Okay. All right. I'm gonna indulge it a little bit more, but mostly because I'm tired now and I should be ending the stream anyways. What the actual hell? All right. Touch. Boom, boom, boom. Touch events API. Touch. There is no touch events API. There is no touch API. I'm guessing you're looking at ancient out of date information. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, Chrome port forwarding. No. I need to freaking work. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, oopsies. All right, let's before I bug it a little even more, can I, yeah, new pen. Can I just take that little example here, right, and put it in here? Boom, boom, right? And now we can press F12, right? And yeah, nope, doesn't work. You're a Mac Windows computer. It's Windows, comma, updated, comma, Chrome, latest, comma, responsive, layout, comma, using your simple, comma, single button test code. Yeah, I don't... Okay. Bugger off, bugger off, bugger off. It's fine to use. We can just use pointer down. Let me just do this. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Nope. Pointer down. Event. Nope. And that. So, e.target. I think I want to look at these buttons because they have a data value. Okay, so we want to have data value. So we want to have data dash value equals boom. Right. And data value, data value, data value, data value, value, value. Digit dataset value. So if I do e.target dot dataset value. So if I do this, right? Oh, and I press this button. E is not defined. Okay. Vent. Start again. What's that? F. G. Okay. So if I do this, and if I look at if I look at, did we lose our letter tool? If I go here and I press this, I get nothing. Well, let's see. So, okay, data set value digit pref next text content value, sure. Total letter data set value show hide letters. Data set val video ID dot value do press digit. So digit here, I'm guessing, is synonymous with the button value, right? So I'm expecting if I press this button, nothing happens. I go to press digit, and I make this a warn, so I get a stack trace. Refresh that. Click that A. Do press digit handle button 5216. 5216. Switch control. Control value. Switch control. Ugh. I guess that's just what kind of button we're dealing with. Control value. So if I go control value normal, tool value, tool color, control value, control redo, control that. Oh, okay. So this is the type of data controls value. Okay. So if I just do press digit over here, so if I just say const btn val equals that, right, and then I'll do whatever framework dot app dot do press digit. Right. So if we do this and then I press these and do this in a touch format and go to this tool, so I can just press these, right? And we could potentially have a number row as well. So if I go and I think the number row would also start with a 0, right? No, it would finish with a 0. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we could do that, right? And we'll end up with something like this. And is that what it looks like on the Thinky Data QWERTY key? I don't think we have a version where it has the digits. It makes it chunky and we run out of space for the extra buttons. That's the only disadvantage here. But it's kind of what you would want for a puzzle like that, which has 1 RDB. But I am guessing we want the alternate version with the limited set of digits. Let me have a very quick peekaboo at that as well. So if I do a return here, we should get rid of that, right? And if I go 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and the letters RBC. All right. So for example, if we go here, so if I say something like this, right? Framework.app. I think there's a way of dot sol, no, dot puzzle dot sol as solution get dot source or current puzzle dot sol. Yeah. So if I if I do this, so console, right, and then I'll say console sims equals sol.split new set sol.split and turn that into an array, sort it to a sorted array, and then we just output that. Would that get us a sorted list of all the symbols in the solution? Like that. Nope. I'm in here. I can do it here, right? Reading solution. Oh. We need to do it later. Find loaded. Nope. Everything is always a little bit more complicated. Everything is always a little bit more complicated. I'll just do that. I'll just do that. If I do const equals that, and we'll just say app puzzle current puzzle, right? Type error, undefined reading solution, current puzzle. If I do that, undefined. What the heck? Touch element, handle, blah, undefined. Current puzzle is undefined. App puzzle. Shouldn't after loaded all this stuff be fine? Okay, maybe it's puzzle.current puzzle. So if we do that, will that work? Still undefined. Isn't loaded. Handle puzzle init loaded. Puzzle loaded. Unloaded. What? After the loaded event should happen after current puzzle is available. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. You know what? Let's just do that. I'm trying to be too fancy, and it always gets me in the end. It always bites me in the butt. It's a really good idea to make it QWERTY. Is it really good? Because the first user request will probably support the keyboard layout. Well, it's just an implementation of a standard that people expect. I'm going to invent my own keyboard layout because the first thing people are asking for, they can't find things, right? In fact, that's why I was working on it at Thinky Games, because people were complaining they couldn't find it. Because when we had the custom layout, the letters were not in an order that people expected. While the QWERTY layout is something people expect and understand. Because it's what their phone always offers them, right? But ultimately, I think a custom, which is what I'm looking into right now, custom layout would be potentially useful. So this should work now, right? So that should get us these. Now, what it doesn't give us is it doesn't give us a clever order. because in this case, the BCR probably should be in the middle of the whatever, right? But if I now go here and if I go to control, so if I say document.query selector all, we go to .controls input button for const btn el off console.log el. So that should be the buttons, right? Can I resize this? Why can't I resize this? That was dumb. Okay. So that'll get us all of these, right? And now if we just replace them, yeah, we kind of want button where data control equals value. Like, we want only the value buttons, right? Control. Right. And if I substitute these right now, so if I say, okay, so let's say el.dataset.key. No, the key we don't mess with, right? Value. The data key. Let's do it this way, just because I can be arsed. For each el idx, right? Am I getting this wrong? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. idx, right? And then we want to do solsimps idx. So if I do this, we get these symbols go into these buttons, right? And then we'll say, hey, if this not equal undefined, right? We'll do value equals the sol symbol. Now, do the values, do they want to be small or capitalized? In this case, it looks like they want to be capitalized. Okay, well, that to uppercase. I'm not sure if that's universally correct. And if I say el.textContent equals to uppercase, and that's it, right? So if we do this, and I go here and I press this, I get a B, and if I press this, that's a C, and that's an R. To be fair, and then maybe even hide this button, right? Mark, this is actually maybe not terrible, because a large percentage of puzzles that use letters are 9x9 puzzles that use 9 different symbols. Now, that obviously doesn't cater for letter use as markup, but for that, the keypad might actually be the way to go. Oh, that's weird. Where? A, B, C, D, E, C? Oh, that's weird. I did something to it that messes it up like this. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, -1. Oh, it's like some sort of reverse mapping. Oh, that's... But this is one possibility of doing it, right? If I do else, if I say in const simp equals solsimps idx. or space, if it's undefined, to uppercase, which shouldn't be a problem, right? And then I should just do this. Right. So if I do something like that, 26. Very likely it doesn't like that here. So if I do this, then this, what do I get? It doesn't like, oh. I don't know what happened there. So if I do that, it'll just do that. And then this will be a blank button. Which is, ironically, not the same thing as delete. God damn it. If I do with this, and I just completely remove that, we're gonna have to restart. Because God knows what that puts in there. So I do this and this. We get empty characters that conflict with each other. Holy moly. Did you know that, Mark? The layout is simple. There's no layout. It's just rows, right? Like, I can literally just sort this. I can just say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F. Wait, is this 26? Yeah. So if I just do this, and I split it in the same way, so we'll just do that. And then we'll do this one less. And then we'll do that. Right? In fact, if I do this, it'll be even easier. So if I do this, I need to go back to this test. Yeah. What's it not liking? Undefined reading too lowercase. Huh? Okay, don't know what's going on here. Yeah, this looks weird. I mean, sure, but I don't know. Let's see if we can do this. Move the S to the last row. I mean, that's basically what you're asking for, right? I mean, we do have 10 digits, so if we want to do it by 10 characters, we bring the J back in here, and then make this 10 characters. Because remember, the layout is not a QWERTY layout, it's literally just rows of buttons that are centered, and they just sort of resemble roughly a QWERTY layout, right? So that would be the sort of full-on A through Z block layout. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility, and to be fair, like on consoles, when you kind of going with a controller down an alphabetical list to find a key or something, they do it like that. So there's a precedent in video games. Like you see, it's it would be a very easy switch. It's still, the buttons are still, well, they're not that small. They're the same size as the cells, and I always say that's my limit, right? Like, as long as they are roughly the size of the cell, it means I can hit them with a with a finger. Because if the button is much bigger than the cell, then it's the cell that's the problem that you can't hit. And if you can hit the cell, then you could hit a button of that size as well, right? The problem is I only end up with one row available for all the other buttons. Well, I guess I could shrink them if necessary. It'd be nice to have the numbers there at the same time, but it might not be feasible. What if I just scooch them together a little bit more? I mean, that would be too horrific. I mean, obviously, it should really go hand in hand with a full overhaul of the layout system, because there's no reason why they need to be there. And even being more right aligned makes more sense. Like having more space in the middle. Like at the time I wasn't designing it mentally with things like a tablet in mind and stuff where people need to still reach with their right finger. Let me make a little bit of a function here. So keyboard board p dot replace letter tool. So if we put that in there, so if I just do this, right, and then I just say return this dot boom, right, that'll get us back to the other test. And maybe I'll put that in here. And then we'll make a function p create QWERTY create keyboard. And it's really just all of this. Right. I can do return boom. Okay, get rid of that. Now we can test the QWERTY keyboard, and I can just disable that, disable that. I mean, even by my standards, this is a lazy implementation of the setting. We could have a couple of different layouts. So let's try that, right? Let's do something like c dot layout QWERTY. And that'll be basically this. And then we have QWERTY digits. We'll just put that this layout alpha, which will be these. And then we'll have alpha digits as well. Right? And we'll just say key rows, boom. And then I'll just say something like layout alpha. Boom. And maybe we'll make this our default. Something like that, right? And then we can even try out the different ones, right? Just QWERTY. And it should be fairly easy to switch between them as well. We have some space for the delete key. I'd have to see how I can integrate that. Because I had the same issue here with integrating extra keys, and internally they're just handled as special characters. So that shouldn't be really a problem. But I also don't mind this version. The problem is it's gonna be a bit tricky to to detect automatically when this is an option. I guess what we could do is we could say, hey, if the number of symbols in the solution is less than 10, or 10 or fewer, then we'll do something like that. So that's, I think that might actually be a really interesting option for it. Somebody posted the link to that RBK puzzle. So if I go take this to local. So this is also in 1, 2, 3 ABCR kind of thing. Don't want this. And place letter tool code is doing a bunch of outputting. So if I do this, it'll output that. And I should be able to solve it with this keypad layout now. Yeah, fill every row column with digits from 1 to 6 once each, as well as one of the letters RBC. Each R takes the value of the row it's in, each C takes the column B. Values in the circle of an arrow are the sum of the values of the row, of the arrow. So fill every row column with the digits from 1 to 6 each. Okay, so we can't have just digits in here because that'll be 10. We can't have an R in here, so we have 2 1s, right? We can have 1 plus R, that's 2. We can have 2, that's 4. And we could have box 2. We can have a second 2 or a 3. So we can have 1 2 2, 1 1 2 2, which is as small as an 8. So 8 or 9, right? Oh. We don't have 8 or 9. Oh, no. Wait. Wait. What's the biggest sum value you can have for this arrow? Box is 1, column is 3, row is 1, so those are out. So 6 is the largest value we can have. So if we get a 1, we get a row, that's 2. Oh, I can't press R to get the R. Ooh, okay. So 1R, box 2, so 1 and 1 plus 2, that's 4, and column 4, no. We can use 2. So we can have 1 1 2 box R, 1 2 box R. This can't be a B because that would be a 5. This, because it would be a 3. So 1 2 box in here. That's another 2. That's 4, 5. And then this needs to be a row or one. Yeah, no, it can be. Yeah, okay. And that's just a 6. And then that's correct, right? And I'm guessing. Is that always the smallest we can do for 4 values? 1 1 2 2. So here also, I want to use the keyboard so bad. We have 1 box. This can't be box. Column, and this can be an and a 2. So column is 2. Box here is 1. That's our 2 1s here. So one of these has to be a box. 1 1 2 2, which is then also a 6. Okay, and then here I'm guessing box 3 is too big, column is too big because column's 9. 1 2. But this can be a bigger number because box 3. Yeah, so this gets too big, but this can be column, so it can't be a 6, can't be box. So this has got to be column. So that's 9. So we only have to repeat 1 value a second time. So that's the smallest this can be is a 3. We can obviously have a 3 in here. So that's 6. So we need another 3. Can we get another 2 in here? No. So this has to be a box because everything else is bigger. And then this needs to be box. And that's not a box, right? Cool. And then we have a box here. Awesome. All right. The largest this can be is... It can't be a 6. It could be a 6 in terms of row. This could be 2 with 1... well, no. So 1, 2 makes it a 3. This can't... Could this be a 1? They can't both be 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So it can be a 6, but it can't be a 6. So this needs to be a row. Yeah. And then this is a 1, 2. And then this is a... can this be a box? No. No, 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 no. No, this is 1, 2. Yeah, okay, no. Well, they can all be 1, 2s. They can be 1, 2s. All right, all right, all right. Here we have another 4. This can be a 6. Ah, no, because what's the smallest? This is a 3. Well, we can have a 1 and a 2. We need a 3. So this can be column for 3. So 1, 2 is 3, plus 3 plus 3 is 9. So if this is a box, and then we need another 3 here, which is just a 3, and that's a C. I think that's correct. Yes. Okay, and then I have a box in here. We have a C over here. Right, because there's a C here. So it needs to be a C here, but that can't be a C. So that's a C. That can't be a C. Cool, 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 cool. Interesting. I kind of like these puzzles, actually. I mean, I guess it's just like a bunch of indexing stuff, right? Like here, for example, this can be a 9. This can be an 8 on 3 digits. But this digit can't be a 1, 2, or a column, which is also a 2. 1, 2, 3. So this can't be a 3. So it can't be a 1, 2, or 3. It can't be... It can be a 4, 5. It can't be a 6. It can be a BC. And I don't think it can be an R. All right, 4, 5. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. CB. Well, it can't be an R. Okay, so this is 3, 4, 5 as well. 3, 4, 4, 5. All right. 1, 2, C, B, R. 6, 6. That's a 6. These are 4, 5, 6, CBR. And that can't be a 6. All right, RB. So there's an R here, which means that's not an R. So if I want to press this, okay, so it's the digit that matches that I would have to press at the moment, which is obviously not a good design. Okay, so there's an R there. R would be 9. Okay, that's not an R, which means there's an R here. Okay. BB. Yeah, it's already 10:30. Oh my god, I'm gonna be smashed tomorrow. It's a really good idea to make it QWERTY. Oh, it scrolled and made me believe there's was a new comment. 1, 2. So this is 3, and these are 3, and then 1 and 2 is taken, and 1, 2 is taken here. So these can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. BCR. Okay. RCBHR. 6, 6, 6. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This can't be a 9. It can be an 8. It can be a box 8 or a row 8. If it's smaller than an 8, it could be a 6, and we could have 1, 2, 3 here, except that can't be a 1, 2, 3, and it can't be RBC. Yeah, so it can't be a 6. So it needs to be bigger than a 6. Okay, so it needs to be a box or a row. Column would be also 6. Box or row. The smallest this can be is a 4. So this is box 8. So this is 4. These two need to add up to 4. So they need to be either 1, 3. This can't be a 1. This could be a 2 in column. Ah, no, but it can't be a column. Okay. This could be a C. No, can't be a C either. 1, 3. Can this be a 1? No. So this can't be a 3. Is there another way of making 1 and 3 here? Because this can't be a 2 for the column. Like, we can't use column here. And rows are high. So I think that's just got to be 1 and 3. Huh. And then this is a 4, either as a digit 4 or as a column 4. And this is not a 3 now, which makes this a 3. Yeah, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Uh-huh. And then that's back to 4, 5, and R. Okay. And then this is gotta be either... It can't be a 6. So this has got to be a 9, right? So that's got to be a... Well, it could be an 8. It could be a box, or it can be a row, which makes it an 8 or 9. The smallest it can be here is a 4. So this could be a 4, and then these two would have to be 5 or less. Okay. Let's just fill these in. 4, 5, 6... or a C, because B and R's are taken. This can't be B, R, or R. Oh, and then 1 and 2 drop out of these, and then this can't be an R. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. All right. Can this be a 6? Well, this can't be a 1 or 2. So that's at least a 3. So that can't be a 6 anymore. This is a 5, 3, 1. But how could this be? Well, it could just be a straight up 1, right? What's the smallest this can be? It could be a 3. That's the smallest it can be. The smallest this can be is a 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. So the largest this can be is a 2. Wow, okay. This could also be a 4. Column here would be make this a 6. That doesn't work anymore now. Because if that's a 6, this can't be a 1 or a 2. So we have a 1 degree of freedom, I guess, if this is a 9. If it's an 8... Oh, wait. Why couldn't that be a 9? Oh, because we don't have a 9. Oh, whatever B or R is, it'll always be an 8 on this one. Okay, fair enough. I mean, this could still be 4, 3, 1, I suppose. This is a 4, and that's a C. I guess that would work. 4, 3... 4, 3. All right. This is a 4, 1, 4. Ah, wait. No, we can't have double 4 here. So this, because this is a 4, that becomes a 5. So this can never be a 4. Okay, so that's a 3. Okay. So that's a 3. 4, 1, 4, 3 is 8. So if this was box 8. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. All right, all right. All right, that's a 3 because we have the 1 and 2 in the column. Okay. And as you can see, the way I solve, for example, I do checks quite often and so on, because very often I'm not solving for fun, I'm just testing things, so I kind of rush through things quite frequently. All right, C. Go C here. Which means that's a C. So that's a 4. Okay, that's a 5, and that's a 6. All right, that's a bunch of stuff. That can't be a 5 anymore. It can't be a C anymore. Makes that a C. Not a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. BCR. All right. 5, 6, 4, 4. Means 4 is here, not here. Okay. Right. Smallest this can be is a 3, and the smallest this can be is a 4. So the smallest this can be is a 7. So this needs to be either a column. Box is 6. It can't be a box anymore. And it can't be row, so that's got to be a column. Okay. That's got to be the column. And that's no longer a column. In fact, no, that's the column. this could be 4 or row. And then this could be 3. No, that's just got to be outright 3. Can't be anything else. And that's got to be a 4. All right. Oh, no. I got it wrong. What else could it be besides a 3? Column is... Oh, no, that's an 8. Okay, so it could be a 3 or 4, which means it could also be a row. This. Okay. This column here is 8. I thought it was 7. We couldn't reach 7, eh? Ah, that's a 3. Because of that 1-2 pair here. Okay. R isn't here. It's here, here, here. 6 isn't here. 6 is here, here. 6 isn't here, so 6 is here, here. Here, here. Here. 6 is here, here, here. Okay. This 1, 2 doesn't match up with anything. 3 and 5 is 8. So that's got to be a 1 now, and that's got to be a row for the 9, and that's the 8 box. Okay, so we now have a 4 over here. 5 here, 4 here, 4 here. That's an R. Are we still on track? Yes. No R here. But we have an R here. And that's 5, 6. And oh, that's not a 5. And that's a 2. 6. And then this would be 5. And then you have 2 or B. 2 or B. Okay. 5, 6 R. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. RBC. Okay. Ah, or 6. It's gonna be a 6. 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 4 R. R is one of these two. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. BCR. Definitely not a C. That's not an R or 6. That's a 5B. 4, 5. So that's got to be the box. That's no longer the box. All right. 4 goes here. 5, 6 R triplet. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or B. Okay. 5. Not a B. Not a 3. 1, 2. So that's not a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. BR. All right. This can be a 1 or 2. And this, I'm not sure. So the 1 can be here or here. So this column is 8. Row and 4, they're both 4. So this can no longer be a 3. So that's a 4R. 4 and row. So that's no longer an R. That's no longer a 4. Where does it take us for the 3 in here? I don't know. This row looks interesting because I have a 4, 5 pair there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, BCR. And the C can't be here or here, which means it's got to be here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, BR. Not a 3. So that puts the 3 here, I guess. And here. Oh, no, not there. And one of these two. And we're still on track. That can't be a 2 because I want to pair here. And 1, 2, 3. All right, 4, 5, 6. 4R. Have we used all the clues? I think we've used all the clues. I think we have, right? We don't know which of these is 1 and 2 yet. Maybe we can color the 1s and 2s soon. 6 is here or here. What else could this be? Can't be a 4, can't be an R, can't be a 1, 2. So it could be a, oops. Could be a 3, could be a 6, and BR. Except can't be an R. So 3, 6, B. Can't be a 6 because of that 5, 6 here, and that's a 4. 5, 6, 6, 4, 5. That's an R, 6, 4. Still good. 5, 6, 2, 1. Ooh, that might resolve all our 2s and 1s quite quickly. 5, R, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 7, 2, 1, 4, 7. Yeah, I took my meds too late, and that's why I'm doing this when I should have finished the stream a while ago. All right. 9, 4, 9. We're still on track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and B. Yay! Look at that. Okay. So obviously, the way this keypad here interacts with the keyboard input sucks because it basically I have to press 7 to get a B instead of pressing B. But at least for mobile, I think this would actually work pretty well. Like for touchscreen layout, when you don't have a keyboard at all, this would work fine. So yeah, it is an option. I've never considered this before, and I don't know why. Well, that's why, you know, having worked with this, that was actually helpful. I need to collect a couple of more of these puzzles. Also, I don't know why this didn't show up. DT9S. DT... like... DT9S. If I want to search for this... Oh, there it is. It's the first one. Did I not look at that? I was looking for the one with the arrows. Wait. Oh. This one. Not DT9, 60UR. Alright. So, let's look for that again. No. How? Title contains RBC. Easy as RBC. Framework.app.source puzzle.meta. Easy as RBC. Arrows and renbands. How is that puzzle not visible here? Let me... That's bizarre. Right? Wait. God damn it, I'm doing it again. Oh, RBC arrows, not easy as RBC. Okay, wait. If I go here, RBC arrows, it definitely has... It definitely has the letters RBC in the title. And if I look at this, if I look at today, there it is. Maybe it's a brand new puzzle? Can I look at that for last 12 months? I would suspect this is just a new puzzle, maybe. Yeah, it's just a new puzzle. So yesterday, a little bit of traffic. Last 7 days. Just yesterday. Last 24 hours. Just the occasional hits. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a new puzzle that somebody released. Maybe that's why it came up now, because it came from... maybe it came from the testing channel or something? Okay, it was being discussed on Sudoku testing submissions. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Alright, Rocket Warrior, I apologize that I didn't double check because it feels like... Oh, I didn't spoil this puzzle. I mean, it was a testing submission. But this might be a way of doing it. I'll talk to some people. All right, my eyes are falling shut. I gotta take Toby out again, and it's 10:30. I haven't eaten yet, and I'm a total mess. This weekend was horrific. Anywho, thanks for hanging out. It's good to get back on the horse a little bit. Thanks for watching. And I hope I'll catch you guys in the next one.